Okay, so when we're multiplying integers, and remember, an integer is any positive or negative whole number. So anyone give me a number? Any number? 8. Okay, so let's say that's positive 8, and I want to multiply that by negative 2. Now, it's really good practice to put brackets around your integers, especially when it's negative, because otherwise you might get confused and think it's a subtraction sign, right? Okay, so this says 8 times negative 2. Now, here we have a positive multiplied by a negative. Does anyone remember the rule for when you're multiplying a positive and a negative integer together? What will the answer always be? Symbol down. A negative. So you can start by, the easy way to do this is just start by multiplying the numerical part. So what's 8 times 2? 8 times 2 is 16. So I'll start with the numerical part, and then I can look at the signs. I have a positive and a negative, so I know the answer is going to be negative. So the answer to that is negative 16. Okay? Do you think the answer will change if I switch these two numbers around? So just look here for a sec. If I write negative 2 times positive 8. Okay, I'm just flipping the two around. Instead of writing 8 times negative 2, I wrote negative 2 times positive 8. Well, let's look. Again, 2 times 8. What's the answer of 2 times 8? 16. And do you think it changes if we multiply a negative times a positive? It's different. What's a negative times a positive? It's still a negative. Okay? The order actually does not matter. If we multiply a positive times a negative, it's going to be negative, and a negative times a positive, it's still going to be negative. Okay, the order that you multiply it in doesn't matter. I have a positive and a negative, and I have a negative and a positive. Are the signs the same or are they different? When the signs are different, okay, they're different. I have a positive and a negative, and here they're still different. When the signs are different, your answer is always negative. Okay, they're always negative when the signs are different. Okay, so now let's look at a different example where we have a negative times a negative. What do you think happens when you multiply a negative times a negative? The answer will be positive. Good. So let's do the same thing. 8 times 2 equals 16. And we have a negative and a negative. So the answer is positive. Do I have to put this here, this little symbol, plus? We don't have to. We can just leave it as 16. If I just write 16, I know the answer is positive. Okay, what happens if both signs are positive? What's 2 times 8? Do I have to put positive 2 times positive 8? Doesn't matter. But 2 times 8 is 16. So a positive times a positive is positive. So this is rule number 1. When the signs are the same, okay, so if they're either both negatives or if they're both positives, when they're the same, the answer is always positive. Good. Okay, so just try and memorize these rules for multiplying integers. When the signs are different, the answer is always negative. When the signs are the same, the answer is always positive. These are the rules for multiplication. It's actually the same for division. When you're dividing integers, the same rule applies, okay? So this is for multiplying and dividing integers. Okay, so first things first, we'll just figure out the numerical part. What's 50 divided by 50? 1. Good. And what happens when we take a negative and we divide it by a negative? If the signs are the same, the answer is positive 1. There you go.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.